Hi there guys, how are you doing? Well, we thought even though it's the last official week that we are at school, we've still got some bits and pieces that you might like to choose from. So we've got our Year 3 home learning. Now these are a bit different. These are some fun activities that you can dip in and out of, try different ones, see what you like the look of. So we thought we'd get you to have a little bit of a closer look.
I'm going to come and have a look too, Mrs. Davies.
Oh, it's very important.
So this is mainly for your last 2 days, okay? So these are the things we're going to be doing in school as well. And don't forget, if you do get bored as well, you've got all of the things in the folders from the previous week. You can always go back to them, have another go, or do any ones that you haven't done. So let's have a look at what we've got first on here.
Let's go, Miss Norfolk. Oh, find the pointer, Mrs. Davies. Here we go.
Right, so one of the first things, I think there's 2 of these on here. We've got some code breaks. I think there's a maths one and there's more of an English based one. So here you can see you've got the alphabet here, you've got it going forwards and you've got it going backwards. And then you've got some unusual words here. I'm not sure what that says. J-E-E-J-P-N-B-C. Not sure, Miss Davies.
That can't be right, Miss
What
Norfolk.
you need to do is have a look along the code and you find the letter J along the top row. Then you'll go down, so your first letter is an O. Then you find the E, P. I'm not going to do any more because it might give it away. But you've got, let's see if I can scroll here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different words to try and figure out what they say. So then we go on to the next one, which is your maths code breaker. So here, it might take you a bit longer to do this one. You've got different words linked to the summer. Now this one here, 5 times 5.
I know that was something practice my tennis. 5 times 5 is 25.
Brilliant. So you'd write the number 25 in the box here, and then you'd find the letter which corresponds, and it's actually in order, goes backwards again, so it's the letter B. And then hopefully you will spell out a word. So there's lots of things here, lots of multiplication, division, adding, you've got some halving, some quarters of. So just have fun and just see which summer words you've got.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, go for it, Mrs. Davies. What have we got here?
So we've got a STEAM challenge. That's challenge 1. Now we like you guys to be creative. So we have got here, what we want you to do is we want you to make a boat. But what must boats do? Boats must float. So we want you to make a boat that floats successfully. However, it must carry a cargo of at least 1 penny. So cargo is what goes inside the boats. It must carry at least 1 penny. Now these boats look very good because that's definitely more than 1 penny. So we've got some ideas. You can use any materials that you've got at home, but you need to write down the equipment and what you've done. That's really important and is what scientists do all the time, which means they could then recreate the experiment.
Looks like it might be easy, but I think it's going to be trickier than it looks, Mrs. Davies, isn't it? So some other examples here down the bottom. Oh, we're at the beach cafe here. So a bit more maths. You've got a little menu here. Oh, selling some cola and lemonade, ham sandwich, pizza, ice cream, my favourite. And you've got some different tables here, and you've got to deliver your food to those tables and work out the totals. So you've got table 1 here, that's for cola, ice cream, and then we need to add them together and find out how much they've spent. And then there's a little mini challenge on the end because it's asking you, if you paid with a £5 note, how much change would you need for each one as well? We've been doing lots of addition and subtraction recently, so you should be brilliant at that by now. Going to be over to you.
Here's another one. I love a making challenge. So you have got to do, now we've talked about towers before. However, this is what you're going to do. You are going to make the tallest tower that you can, and it's got to be able to stand freely, which means no holding on to it, no propping it up with your finger. It's got to be able to stand up all on its own. You can only use newspaper and tape. So sellotape, masking tape, any tape is fine. But we want you to send us in a picture, and we'd like you to accurately measure how tall your tower is. So using centimetres, you might even need to go into metres. I wonder what you
This one sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Look at those.
Wow, look how tall this one is.
And they're grown-ups and they're stood up.
Amazing. I like that one.
So it doesn't limit the amount of newspaper either, have you noticed?
Good point there, Mrs. Davies. Oh, back to me, another maths one here. We've got a multiplication art one, so a bit of colouring, but a bit of maths as well. So you can see this summer picture here. There's lots of multiplications on it and lots of divisions too. You need to work out the answer and then find which colour you need to colour in. So if I did this one here, 10 times 8, Mrs. Davies, can you do that?
It is 80.
So I need to find... Oh, that's going to be 80 to 100. So I can leave that one white then, Mrs. Davis. Let's do one more. What about 4 times 4?
4 times 4 is 16.
So I'd come along. Oh, so 16 is in between 11 and 20. So I'd colour that section in yellow.
My favourite colour. And what you could do, guys, to help yourselves, you might have noticed these are the tables that you guys know. You could write out your tables to begin with to help you out. And when you're working the calculations,
then you can use them, can't you?
Exactly, like an author. Plan before you start.
Right, let's see what we've got next. Oh, now this is, I think, if I go down, I think it says, oh no, it's just this one, and then there's other information there. Now this one, we found out, we read something on the internet a little while ago, that they are trying to encourage people to earn a Blue Peter badge. And there's many different ways that you can earn the badges. It might be by drawing a picture, writing them a letter, telling them about something you've been doing during lockdown. Now, if we put the website on here, if you go to this website, they give you lots more information about how to earn these badges. And I know that Twinkle have just introduced something as well, which gives you examples of what you could actually do to earn that badge. These badges are brilliant. They allow you into lots of different places for free. So it might be worth having a go and seeing if you can earn yourself a Blue Peter badge.
And I think they're special for this summer. They're not the normal. If I remember,
that would be nice.
Special summer.
It would be interesting to see which ones could be earned. Look, there's just some examples here. Look, you can see here someone's made what looks like a hedgehog out of an old book, and they've got themselves a green badge there.
Got lots of creative.
Fire truck, a
poem.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be writing, it could be anything.
And we've got some very creative people in our year group.
This one looks a bit different from the last one. So last time I could see the picture.
I can't see it now.
So
it's a mosaic which is made up of squares of colour.
Right, so am I going to have to complete it before I know what the picture is?
Now, if I do these, I'd solve them and write the answers first.
So I could go, so I'm going to try and find, I'm going to go for this one here. So 7 times 4, 4 lots of 7, 7 lots of 4. Or if I count in my fours, I've got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28.
That's what
so I can write the 28 just underneath, and then I can have a look up here. 28 comes in between 19 and 39, so that one would be red.
So we'll be fine then, won't we?
Fantastic. Have we got any more? Let's have a quick... Oh.
Tell you, there's so many exciting things.
I've noticed some alliteration there. A prepositional postcard. What's a preposition, Mrs. Davies?
So a preposition is a place in time or a place in your space, so being next to something. And I think looking at it, we're talking about prepositions of place.
So behind, beneath, beside. We've got some examples up there. So your job is to look at these little postcard pictures. And can you have a go at writing a sentence about what you can see in each one? So if I was looking at this one, I might say, lying on the sand is a beautiful purple beach towel, and next to the beach towel is a stripy beach ball. So I've used 2 of them in my sentence. You have a go, Mrs. James.
I'm going to do this in the evening, so I've got a time one there. In the evening, as the sun went down, behind the hill, there was a golden glow in the sky.
Wow, that's 3 in one sentence, Mrs. Davies. So you could write more than one sentence for each one. It's up to you. Just have a go at practicing those prepositions there. And then you've got your own little challenge at the end. Can you have a go at writing your own postcard? It doesn't have to be if you've been on holiday. It could be something exciting you've done in the back garden, or if you've done something with your cubs or scouts via Zoom. You could just write to someone and tell them all about it.
You probably want to do it on a separate piece of paper though, because that's a very little postcard, like James and the Giant Peach.
Small writing, but I've seen this one, so I'm not going to do this one because I think this one definitely needs to be Mrs. Davies.
Now, I'm really hoping that loads of you have already signed up for the Silly Squad Challenge. I did a video about that a couple of weeks ago, and if you haven't, see if you can talk to your grown-ups and say, Mrs. Davies would be so happy. We're going to do a book review. Now, I'm always on the lookout for new books. You know me, my class think it's hilarious. We've got so many books, they're falling out of my bookcase. I want to choose your favourite. So the favourite book that you read over the summer, can you do a book review? I need to know the title and the author, because I can't order it if I haven't got all the details. What did you think of the book? How many stars would you give it? What was your favourite part? And what I'd like to know isn't just in the jungle, what was it about the jungle that you liked? So there's those conjunctions in there. And then drawing your favourite scene from the book. So that will be really important because that's what encourages people to read, especially if you've had to use your imagination.
Right.
So I reckon there's plenty there to choose from.
You'll find this in the folder. As we said, you can go back to the other weeks and try and find some other things. These are just some ideas for you to do those last couple of days of school. We do want you to enjoy your summer and to relax though. The only thing we want you to carry on with over that summer is 1,
TT Rockstars,
and 2 is your reading. Okay, so we'll be keeping track of your TT
yeah.
Rockstars. We've been doing well over the last few weeks, so keep it up, ready for next year. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye guys.